Welcome to Washington, which is situated between Newcastle and Sunderland, as we join a full house. Yes, the joint is really jumping here at the Northumbria Centre. Good evening. They've really packed them in here to see their local boxing hero, John Davison, who at long last gets a chance of becoming world champion. He's really been messed around quite a lot for the last year, and this week he thought that his latest chance was going out of the window when the WBO featherweight champion of the world, Ruben Palacio of Colombia, was positively tested for HIV. But Davison still gets his chance for the title, which has become vacant. The Welshman Steve Robinson now steps in for a really unexpected opportunity.
Palacio arrived in England on Monday, having twice postponed the defence against John Davison. The Colombian caused one of last year's boxing upsets by wrestling the title off Britain's Colin McMillan in a shock defeat, McMillan retiring with a dislocated shoulder. But in the most disturbing circumstances this week, Palacio now cannot fight John Davison for the title.
It's got me mental, I mean, 3 times and coming out of this, but I'm a professional. I've got to get on with the job. I've got to do the job for my supporters and for my family.
So enter Steve Robinson, not highly regarded by the critics, but Davison believes he's a far tougher opponent than Palacio. No one in the game disputes Robinson's recent improvement. He's tough, he's never been stopped in 23 fights. Davison is 34, started late, but what a big puncher.
Oh, good shot. Oh, a right hand there, right on the chin.
Davison always seems to be involved in wars. In this fight with a tough Thai Sorpak D, he finished with a broken jaw, but he won on a split points decision.
I've done everything that they've asked of us as a professional. It doesn't matter who I fight, this is a world championship fight, and I've got to win this world championship for the Geordie fans and for all my supporters. So I'm going to give it 100%. Steve Robinson's going to be one tough kid, but hopefully at the end of the day, John Davison will be the new world champ.
Well, we'll find out in just a few moments. We need to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. John Davison of Newcastle against Steve Robinson of Cardiff. See you in a moment. Welcome back to the Northeast, where the boxers, as you can see, are now in the ring waiting to contest this vacant WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. The Geordie, John Davison, the British champion from Newcastle, and the Welshman, Steve Robinson from Cardiff. On our way to join our commentators, Reg Cutteridge and Jim Watt, of course, let's first of all hear from the Washington's Northumbria Centre, from the MC, Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big fight live from the Northumbrian Centre in the city of Washington, promoted by Matchroom in association with Tommy Gilmore and the St Andrews Sporting Club, and sponsored by the Daily and Sunday Mirror newspapers. Your matchmaker is Graham Lockwood. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a featherweight contest at 9 stone, over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the vacant WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. Your WBO supervisor is Ed Levine of the United States of America. Your British Boxing Board of Control steward in charge is Bob Graham. Your judges are New Jensen of Denmark, Albert Walensky of Miami in Florida, and Samuel Conde of Puerto Rico. Your timekeeper is Albert Kelleher. And when the bell rings and the action begins, your referee is Bill T. Connors of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the red corner with the red shorts, with 13 wins and 1 draw from 23 contests, 7 inside the distance, and weighing in at 8 stone 13.5 pounds, will you welcome the current WBA Continental Featherweight Champion, Steve Robinson! And ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner with the black shorts, with 15 wins from 18 contests, 9 inside the distance, and weighing in at 8 stone 12.75 pounds, the former undefeated featherweight champion of Great Britain, John Davison!
So it's there it is. The referee William Connors from Miami is a policeman, actually. Referee one of the Duke Mackenzie fights. Well, now there's obviously a lot of discussion and backstage talk now. How did young Steve Robinson, 24, get his shot overnight? But on the other hand, John Davison deserves a genuine world title crack. He's had 3 postponements now with the rather sad departure of Ruben Palacio. And it's good to see him getting full network coverage now on ITV. We've had him on 1 or 2 in the local areas, and he's always been in an exciting fight. Steve Robinson, from what Jim White and I have seen of him, 2 or 3 fights actually, is a little hard nut and probably a bit underrated as well. One of the WBO Championship Committee considered, well, it was best when he went to France and he defeated a very hot fighter there, Stefan Hakoun, back in '92, who was then unbeaten, and I think that swayed it when they needed, well, what could become a Cinderella man, and if he managed to pull this off, Robinson, well, the famous old Cinderella man, James J. Craddock, would be very much a bit player. Wonder how much effect it's had on Davison, Jim, change of opponent like this.
Yeah, well, it's never good. The whole thing has been a shambles through no fault of Davison. He's got himself in shape 3 different times. Every time something's gone wrong. But I think John's a kind of little fellow. He's never asked favours in the fight again. He's never given any, never asked any. So he just accepts everything in his stride. Excellent temperament. I don't think he'll be affected. And the welcome he got when he came into the ring just a couple of minutes ago. Tremendous reception. So that'll certainly give him a lift.
Yeah, I'm afraid they didn't turn up for Robinson. The Jordans are a little bit hard on the entrance there. Davison gets himself involved in wars. Come to think of it, so does Robinson actually, but he doesn't have any what I call walkover fight, John Davison. That's the way he fights. Forget the age of 34, because he didn't start boxing until a week before his 30th birthday. In his amateur boxing, he was 25.
I mean, depending what kind of shape Robinson's in, this could actually be a better fight than the original. Surprising that the fight's taking place, I suppose, but nevertheless, this could really be a cracker. 2 similar styles that neither boy wants to hide. And already you can see the way they've started, just standing there letting the punches go.
World Camp to assure me that Robinson's always in shape. He walks around at 9 stone 2, and this is for the 9 stone WBA version. Vacant now, of course, tonight. So he gets through with sharp punches there. Good straight puncher, if you remember him, Steve Robinson.
So you always have the danger, Reg, of Davison cutting up. And as usual, he's not being in the slightest careful, just marching straight in, and Robinson's landing already. They're both landing, but you're always worried about Davison's eyes.
Yeah, that would be a bit tragic, wouldn't it, Jim, if both the old scar tissue opened up. Anyway, they had a good look at each other in that round, and a little friendly tap there, but I think the armistice would soon be over with these two. Because that's the fight it's got to be, and that's how Tommy Conroy's saying in the corner there's manager, son of the news agent, and likes the fight man, of course. A bit early for the ice pack. I don't think he's warmed up enough yet, John Davison. A real throwback warrior, isn't he, Jim? Let's have a look at this replay.
Well, you can see the similarities in the style. Both quite happy to stand and trade. Robinson defends a little bit tighter than Davison's at this stage, and I reckon that's what he'll want to do. Just try to catch as much of Davison's punches as he can in the first couple of rounds from a tight defence. But difficult to separate them in the first round. Very close. Maybe Davison throwing more punches.
Coming out for the second then. Scheduled, of course, for the championship of 12 rounds. And the judges would be Knud Jensen of Denmark, Sam Pondy of Puerto Rico, Albert Walensky of Miami. Referee doesn't vote. Davison treating this fellow with a bit of respect. I mean, he might not be in the top ratings, Robinson. In fact, he isn't. But on the other hand, I think Davison knows enough about him that he can't walk in and take a few silly liberties early on.
Yeah, and a little similarity between Davison and myself. We've both got World Championship chances late in our careers. So it tightens you up a little bit, Reg. You know you're not going to get another one if you slip up. So that might be on his mind too. Want to do the job properly, knowing that he's not going to be around long enough for a second chance. So a little bit of strain involved, whereas Robinson, no strain whatsoever. Come in at the last minute, nothing really expected of him.
They held on about everything to gain and nothing to lose. It's a wonder, actually, that Davison didn't throw the towel into the game altogether with the disappointments he's had. Certainly when he fought Fabrice Benachou. Very hot with this group of defeats. They were at the European Championships in France.
Davison's actually trying to produce some clever boxing here. That surprises me. I thought he would want to set the pace, taking it that he's got to be in better shape than Robinson. But he's boxing here, picking these shots as though he's looking for a long fight.
Well, when you say that, Jim, he's obviously taken into account that nobody's stopped Robinson yet. He's had plenty of losses on the record, but coming up when he started in the game, he had a bad start, actually.
Well, I'm not saying he should be looking for a stoppage, Reg, but I thought he would have set a pace in the early rounds. You would imagine that Davison has to last the pace better than Robinson. This pace of boxing must suit Robinson more. But he is boxing well, Davison, picking his punches well.
So long we've been mooting a fight between Davison and Colin McMillan, who was unfortunately lost the championship through the shoulder dislocation. So who knows if he can come through this one all right, what a match will that'll be, because McMillan is still the #1 contender by the WBO.
That's 4 straight right-hand leads from Robinson, all landed flush in McMillan's face.
The local southpaw hero now, as Jim Watt's been saying, has just been that touch wary by his style. He's normally swarms in all over opponents. When he won the Intercontinental Championships against a Thailander and defended against a Thailander and Korean. Very exciting fights. Started in 1990, he started that off. And he did it at 2 weights as well. Went down to Super Bantam, which is 8 stone 10. Which we don't recognise actually in Britain. We recognise the WBO Championship at WBC, but not British Championships. It's very fragmented, as we know these days, Jim. 17 weights, isn't it, and 68 champions, although we don't recognise in Britain many of those weights, just as well, I think.
Oh, look like that. That's shaking Davison, Reg. That was a beauty. That was bang on the chin. Davison covering up. That was a good shot.
Yeah, he knows it all right there. He's got to battle his way out of trouble here. I'll tell you what, Jim, what a story this will be in the boxing.
He's throwing nothing back, Reg. Davison's throwing nothing back. He's winking then, but it's time to start throwing back.
It's a bit game getting in close like that. Maybe he doesn't want to give him any daylight between them, as they say. He doesn't want to give Robinson any leverage to throw punches while he's... Well, it looks like he's got over that early pain, Jim, but he was certainly tapped. No
snap on these punches, Reg. Look at the punches, just little prodding punches. That maybe a little effective. That was a good left hook, bang in the chin. So there goes that left hook again. See, Davison, no defence. He really takes some amount of chances, Davison.
Well, I said at the off, Jim, he was a hard nut, Robinson, and I underestimated his boxing ability and the way he can punch a bit too.
See, Robinson's boxing a smart fight. He's not wanting to set the pace. He just wants to box careful and pick his shots. But now he knows he can hurt Davison. He's going to be very dangerous.
I think the referee's silent referee at the moment. Just used his physique to part them. No balling break. A couple of stags there, the way they're standing there. They locked there, haven't they?
I've not been impressed yet by the snap in Davison's punches yet. Not looking as sharp as I've seen him. We know he can box himself into fights, but he's not quite as sharp as we've seen him.
When he defeated Tim Driscoll last time, he made a bit of hard work of that, we thought at the time. Well, he's going to be a bit satisfied with that round, isn't he, this fellow? 23 fights, won 13, lost 9. Guy Gardner in the corner. Let's have a look at that again.
Well, a couple of perfect left hooks. That was the one really staggered him. Straight away he's thinking about defence, and he blasts through those defences. See, defence has never been Davison's game. When he needs one, he doesn't have it. This is where you would expect him to start firing back, but it was quite some time before Davison started throwing punches.
Well, there'll be some terse orders, I would have thought, there in Davison's corner now. Hey, this is the fight you were supposed to win easily, wasn't it, on paper? There it is, the man who's virtually come in from nowhere, although he's held the World Championship and the Intercontinental version, which is actually going out now. They're dispensing of that. Round 4. Now, can Davison try and take the play away a bit here from Robinson? Welsh haven't had a world championship, the great Howard Winston. He'd get a bit of a welcome in the hillsides, this fellow, wouldn't he, Jim? Coming out of nowhere to get this chance. Yeah, it really would be a fairy tale come true, Reg, and there were a couple of signs in the previous round that he's got the power to do that. He's boxing sensibly, not wasting energy, not trying to set the pace, just waiting for his chance. Obviously not looking for a points verdict, but he knows now he has the power. He's been in a 12-rounder all right, Robinson. He had a very good performance by beating Paul Harvey in Cardiff. Davison boxing well now, Reg. He's making Robinson miss and catching him with the jabs. We're still not seeing the power that he has, but he's boxing well now. Crowd sense it too, Jim. What atmosphere there is here. They really gave it all the Bladen races and some excitement before the fight started.
See, Robinson seems to be steady in the first minute of every round, Reg, and then in the last minute he gets down to work and lets some powerful shots go. I think he's doing the same again.
Inside the last minute of the 4th round. I think there's quite a few people, well, certainly in the northeast, if not in the rest of the country, saying, hey, who is this fellow, Steve Robinson?
Well, they certainly give Davison's corner a little fright. Another good right hand. Davison's taken that one all right. See, the same again, the last minute of the round, Robinson goes to work, looks to hurt Davison, looks for that knockout. He's not trying to win in points, Reg, but he's very dangerous in the last minute of every round.
And we're coming up to the countdown for this round. Like they're, well, question of imposing their will on the other at the moment. Well, he turned professional, this fellow, because he didn't get in the Seoul Olympics. He'd been upset about that. He'd won 2 out of 3 contests with the Scot Mick Devaney, who did go to Seoul, and that was why he turned professional. He was very upset about that. Now then, there's the exchange. Have a look at this right at the end of the round, Jim.
Yeah, more work again at the end of the round from Robinson. He's obviously very careful about running out of steam, but see, when he gets through, just lets the punches roll. He's looking obviously for a knockout, Reggie. He's not trying to pile up points. Just going through the motions in the first half of the round and getting to work in the second half. But that was a good exchange, and again, it had Davison under fairly serious trouble. As soon as he sees his chance, he lets them flow, and again, Davison's defence is non-existent then.
Round 5. And I must say, Rossman's got some good straight punches, which I think surprised Davison, and certainly has me.
We haven't seen the intensity in Davison's performance that we expect, Reg. I thought he would really have set a pace to try to wear this fellow down, but he hasn't. He's been standing off, picking his shots, and a couple of times he's found himself in trouble.
Apparently he had a workout in the gymnasium yesterday, Jim. He was frustrated about the almost postponement and then a substitute coming in, and the manager said, well, you better work it off. I don't know, maybe can you make yourself get a bit stale and get when you're close to a fight like that?
Well, I always feel staleness is a mental complaint rather than physical, Reg. If you get a little bit fed up in your mind, it usually happens when in the preparation for a fight, not at this stage. Usually by this stage, everything, it's all systems go, but it has been messed about. Maybe it's had an effect on him. But we're not seeing that fire that we normally see from him.
On the other hand, you can't take anything away from Robinson. He's doing the job well.
Yeah, he's boxing sensibly, but he's right in front of Davison at all times. He's not difficult to get to. But Davison, he's not showing the fire that we expect. Robinson, very sensible campaign, not wasting energy, picking his shots carefully and picking them well.
Well, that was a good little burst of punches there, and again. Well, Davison been in trouble before and come back and fights, and he's really got to draw it up from his boots for this one.
Davison's actually looking a little bit jaded at times, Reggie. The snap's missing. He's going to have to just dig deep, grit the teeth and start firing punches. Robinson pushing him back now, Reg. Not a good sign for Davison.
No, right above us here in the commentary position on it. Minute to go.
Robinson certainly grown in confidence, Reg. He's boxed himself into this fight very sensibly. Now he's got his confidence, he's letting the punches go.
I tell you what, it's not bad for a 36-hour substitute, is it?
Reg, the quality of punches in this round certainly coming from Robinson.
Just walking in head first as though he's running out of ideas, Davison. That I don't understand.
He's not putting Robinson under enough pressure. He should be taking more steam out of Robinson, but he's not doing it.
Round 6 of the championship fight. Well, that at one time nobody thought would even happen, and now it has. Steve Robinson from Cardiff has given the southpaw from Newcastle, John Davison, all the trouble he can handle. Nothing in it, the weight's just a 3/4 advantage to Davison for what that matters. They're both natural featherweights.
Walked straight onto a right-hand lead again, Reg. I don't know how many times Davison has walked right onto that punch. Davison's struggling, Reg. He hasn't found his best form. He's going to have to do it the hard way. He's done it before. He's going to have to find his appetite again and march straight into this young fella.
We don't know how Robinson will react to constant pressure, but can Davison provide that pressure?
Robinson boxing a very sensible fight, Reg. He's wasting nothing, just banging out the jab here and there. Then in the last minute of every round, he goes to work, produces good work, and he's nicking a couple of the rounds.
Certainly an easy fight for this heavyweight referee from Miami, isn't it? They're not giving him any trouble, just each other.
Robinson quite happy. The pace has never been too hot. He's been allowed to box at his own pace, and he produced some lovely boxing and lovely punching. See Davison caught cleanly again.
Robinson always turns the inside of the glove with a punch. Maybe he's just catching the tip of it when he was against us at the ropes there. It sounded a bit like that, but I tell you what, whatever they were, it hurt Davison early on, didn't it? And he's still doing so.
Davison still struggling, Reg, missing a lot, can't pin Robinson down. Robinson still boxing well, boxing his own kind of fight.
No suggestion they were throwing a punch on the bell. They both mutual respect and walked away. They know that there's not much separating them here. Jim, how would you have it at this stage?
Davison ahead early in the fight, Reg, but Robinson with the better punching is not far off level. Maybe Davison still slightly maybe one round ahead, but more liable to be level now. A couple of quiet rounds, but Robinson, the quality punching is coming from Robinson. See Davison getting caught flush with good shots, whereas his punches are glancing blows where he's catching elbows and shoulders, not getting through cleanly. Very close.
Ty Gardner there. Well, he's not even bothering to talk to his man there. He knows, looks as though he knows there's Ronnie Rush, former boxer, on the outside of the ring. Round 7. And a very much touch and go job this, isn't it? To remind you that the reigning champion, Ruben Palacio of Colombia, failed the medical test and had to return home quickly. And it looked like the fight was going to be off, but eventually this fellow Steve Robinson was brought in, and not only is he proving a good substitute, he might be proving just a bit too much for Davison in the second half of the fight. Who knows? Davison, as Jim Watt and I have seen him many times, will come on strong at the finish. He wears people down with wars of attrition. And the crowd can sense it there, as I'm saying that. They're lifting to him. I think he realises, Davison, hey, this fella's giving me more trouble than I expected, and I've got to do something about it.
If Davison allows Robinson to control the pace of this fight, keep it at this pace, he's going to be in serious trouble. He has to find the old fire in his belly and make this fellow work. He's beginning to do it now. He just has total commitment, has to move in and keep moving and keep throwing the punches.
Well, they didn't seem that low to me, Jim, but I suppose the referee was in order just to say, watch them anyway. Trying to work to the body, bringing those hands down.
See, in that exchange, Davison never really got through it with a clean, decent punch. Finding it trouble to get his punches home. Not a sharp performance yet from Davison, struggling.
Sticking to his sort of basic instincts.
At least now he's making Robinson work, but Robinson really boxing well under pressure. 3-4 jabs, all bang on target from Robinson, really boxing beautifully.
You get a response right away there from the crowd when he just sends those punches in rotation like that, Davison, but he also has to take them in return, which of course the crowd are ignoring, but he isn't.
Well, I've liked Robinson's work a lot better than Davison's in this round, Reg. Good, clean punches, whereas he's been catching most of Davison's on his arms and elbows, shoulders.
See, we said at the off-jump, he's never been in an easy fight in his life, John Davison, I don't think. I don't know that he revels in this sort of battle, but he could do without it at his stage of the game.
Well, Reg, I think that's what he must do. I think he must go back to his old style and really put this young fellow under pressure. Yeah,
absolutely, I agree with you. It's the only chance now he's got to have of being absolutely certain of winning. Now the crowd liked that round a bit more, although I don't think they saw the quality really of Robinson's close-up work there. So the old wash and brush up, and he deserves it. He's a very quiet fellow, family man, was a warehouseman, but on the dole at the moment. And, well, can you imagine if he gets the decision here, or even could win inside the distance? What a story that would make. Now then, let's have another look at that one.
If you just look at the difference in the quality of the punching, Davison, see, glancing shots, that one went behind the elbow, bang, jab straight on, another one straight on, and yet again straight on. See, you can see Robinson's punches going bang onto the target, whereas Davison's, when he throws, not really getting home, not getting home cleanly.
Round 8, and that close-up there of Davison, well, hardly a portrait of contentment, was it?
Possible Davison's had a lot of real hard fights, Reg, and he's been in the gym 3 times getting ready for this particular fight. I mean, it may have taken his toll, maybe he's just feeling that little bit jaded, but it's not as sharp as he's got to be with this young fellow.
It's no use Davison waiting for Robinson to stop working. He keeps trying to bob and weave a bit. Now, when he does, he gets hit like that.
Well, we've seen a little bit of fire now from Davison, but Robinson coming back with work at least just as good.
Well, we might have wondered how Robinson got into this fight, Jim, not being in the ratings, but I tell you what, he's justified it now, hasn't he?
Yeah, so it was almost a good fight as soon as we heard about it, Reg. I don't feel the WBO should have sanctioned it, but they have done. But it's turned out even better than we expected. It was always a good fight on paper, nothing wrong with that. Some deep breaths now from Robinson.
Minute to go in this round.
Just suddenly a little signs of tiredness coming from Robinson now, Reg. That punch shook him, and he's beginning to look just a little bit weary. This is now a test of character. Still a long time to go. See, big deep breaths, and he's backing off. This is where Davison must use his strength if he wants to become champion.
Yeah, those banging around the ribs is definitely taking his toll there with Robinson. He might dispute that when he has another look at this fight. As I said, that's his game now, wearing them down with Davison.
Still Davison not looking sharp, Reg. Still struggling to get into range and get the punches home.
round 9. And Davison was really piling the punches in right at the end of the 8th there, and certainly Robinson was just looking over at his corner there as if to say, hey, these body punches are getting to me a bit. At least that's the way I read it.
Yeah, it's really the first time that Davison seemed to get Robinson under control. The body shots, and he's certainly beginning to feel the pace now. What an excellent battle Robinson's put up so far, Reg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely boxing.
The thing is, Jim, although he's obviously been in good shape, Robinson, he's done an absolute feat coming in as from 36-hour substitute, really. It would think that Davison must be in better shape, having trained so hard, knowing the strength of Palacio, because he was going to have to out-punch him and, you know, get the stamina going, and that's what he's done here.
Davison's in shape all right, Reg, but I just feel he lacks that sharpness that we've seen before.
Yeah, just the edge has gone, hasn't it, there? A little bit of quick reflex that he had before.
See, in this kind of exchange, Davison has to decide just to stay there as long as it takes until he can make Robinson back off. But surprisingly, Robinson is in excellent condition, Reggie. Really boxed well so far. Still accurate with the left hook too, Robinson.
If it goes to points, remember it's 10 points to the winner of the round and a proportionate number to the loser, which is usually a 1.109 and maybe a 10-8 on occasions. But these have all been 10-9s either way you wanted to score them, and maybe a few evens thrown in as well. See
Robinson now throwing some punches and then back behind the high guard again. Still boxing sensibly.
Minute to go in the 9th, and you know, Jim, I think these final rounds now really got to produce a winner, because it's definitely been a touch and go all the way through now, isn't it?
Yep, and again Robinson, just when we thought maybe he was beginning to tire, he's come back with beautiful punches, bang on target again.
Whether the judges are going to see it our way, Jim, I don't know, but I'd certainly got it close even now.
It's got to be close, Reg. In a few of the rounds, Robinson's punch has been far cleaner, far more accurate. It's just now Davison beginning to use his strength. See, there we go again. Robinson always coming back with something decent.
So coming up to the end of the 9th. Started off as though he was sagging a little bit at the start of the round, Robinson, but he's come back strong in the final half minutes. And quite pleased with himself there by that little gesture, I would have thought, Robinson. Well, at least he stayed blood-free on this one, hasn't he? He tends to get cut a little bit. And he hasn't had to use the Scot there, Donkey Jowett in the corner as a cut man, Jim.
Yeah, well, another good round. Difficult to separate them in that round, Reg. It looked as though Davison in the beginning of the round going to take over, but no, as usual, Robinson comes firing back, and I always feel Robinson's punches are cleaner and more accurate. See, Davison, as you see here, scuffling punches, not really getting home on the target, whereas with Robinson there, 2, 3, bang on target. All the way through, Robinson's punches have looked much cleaner and more cleanly delivered than Davison's.
Round. It doesn't surprise me a bit, actually. As we said at the off, we knew Robinson was a tough nut, Jim. You could debate all night on whether he actually deserved the chance or not, but once the bell rang, well, yes, he has deserved the chance, but what the other 10 in the ratings will feel about it, I don't know, including Colin McMillan, who's still #1.
Yeah, well, it's never right to bring someone who's not rated in the top 10 in to box for especially a vacant championship. It shouldn't be done, but it's been done, and Robinson fully justified it. And as we said at the start, Reg, probably a better fight than we would have seen with Palacio. Davison working well to the rib cage here, good right hands, and those are sapping the strength from Robinson too. The body shots again from Davison.
Yeah, he's very determined, Davison, anyway. He wants to come inside like that and try and wear him down a bit, but Robinson gives the impression that he may look weary, as I said, show out to the corner a little bit, but then suddenly he comes back again. And he's fought 12 rounds before, defeating Paul Harvey. So the cheers start again then midway through the 10th round.
See, Davison just maybe outworking Robinson now and again. The cleaner punching, the better punching, always for me coming from Robinson, but Davison beginning to outwork him.
I think that normally is a bit favourable with American and Puerto Rican judges. Sitting alongside us here we have the Danish judge, Knud Jensen. It's been rough, Jim, isn't it? A bit of bumping and boring going on, but on the other hand, it's been a very clean fight. The referee's hardly ever saying anything to them. Yeah,
it's been a quality battle, Reg. There hasn't been long distance, nice smooth boxing, but it hasn't never been dirty, never been clashes of heads. Not one has been warned for the illegal use of the head. Great action all the way through. Davison just now beginning to outwork young Robinson, but Robinson hanging in as usual, but struggling a little bit in this round.
Showing a little bit of weariness there, both of them, I would have thought. Imagine the words they must be saying to this fellow. Hey, you didn't even know you were going to get this fight and you can still become champion of the world. Now, come on, deep breath and do what you do best. And he doesn't talk back. He's very sensible about it. He's a real throwback to an old pro, really, in his style and attitude. A little bit of ice pack around the eyes there, a bit ungainly. Donkey Joe's doing it, but it's doing the job, cooling him down a little bit and keeping the swellings down. Stern words, isn't it? We can't hear them there from Tommy Conroy, but you can imagine saying, hang on, don't throw this championship away. Round 11. Almost a friendly touch of the gloves there. I hope Robinson didn't think that was the last round.
Those little body shots from Davison beginning to sink in now. Robinson a lot more stationary now than he was in the early rounds, obviously, feeling the pace. Davison now beginning to outwork him a little bit.
Well, the unofficial word around ringside, Jim, is that judges might have him in front, Davison. I think it's seesaw enough for either man now that really performed well in his last two rounds to give the judges a reason now for giving it. Maybe we're wrong, maybe they'll judge it one way with far greater points, but I doubt it.
See, it's amazing the quality punches that Robinson keeps coming back with. Lovely clean shots, but now Davison just keeping the pace going. I felt he should have done this in the early rounds, then maybe he would have taken charge, but he's left it late. But now he just seems to be outworking Robinson a little bit.
Just seems a bit more willing to clutch a bit now, Robinson, to see these final two rounds out.
You can see the tiredness in Robinson's legs. He can't move out a distance now. He's just standing, have to grit his teeth and fire back. But he's now been a little bit outworked. See, Davison at last has found the fire again, driving himself on.
Well, just over a round to go, Jim. How do you fancy it?
Yeah, I've just got it swinging back in Davison's favour again, Reg. I feel so sorry for Robinson, coming in at a day and a half's notice, produced some beautiful quality boxing, but it just doesn't have the strength and possibly the condition to raise the pace when it's required. Davison now starting to outwork him, but that's the way I see it, Reg. We've got judges who may be seeing it differently.
Oh, look at this one, Jim. Maybe he heard you there. Robinson wants to do something about it.
So often when you think maybe he's on the way out, it just produces work like that. And once again, his punching has always been cleaner and better delivered than Davison's.
I don't suppose he's checking the rounds there. He knows it's the last round coming up, Davison. There it is again, Jim, in replay there.
See, Davison just kept the punches going. This is towards the end of the round when again Robinson started firing back. In the early rounds Robinson did that. He was very quiet in the first minute and a half, and he produced some excellent work late on. But look at this, just when you think he's on his way out, this is how he finishes the round. Possibly just trying to catch the judge's eyes with a last 10 seconds, but we have to look at the whole round, and Davison was busier.
3 minutes to go, they must be saying to him, come on. You might be a shade behind, maybe the corner think he's in front, who knows. But, you know, you often got to lean with the local when you're trying to read the judges' minds. But judging boxing is so subjective anyway. The final round of the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. And, Jim, can you imagine if this finished up a draw, a vacant championship, it started all over again?
You know, it's one of these fights, Reg, we see so often that you just don't want to see a loser. Really quality boxing from Robinson all the way through. Perfect tactics, not wasting punches in the early rounds. Lovely boxing, lovely punching. And then the sheer appetite for the game coming from Davison. This fight's had everything, really.
Yeah, thankfully without cuts or knockdowns. The referee's trying to part them there, and Davison's still firing those little punches in.
Sometimes in close rounds, the judges will maybe just lean towards the aggressor. And Davison certainly has done most of the leading off, most of the pushing back.
Well, whatever now, Jim, the man from nowhere has really, well, made himself a bit of a star, really, isn't he? Win, lose or draw there, Robinson.
Yeah, well, I feel Davison has swayed it in his favour. But if the judges saw it differently, Reg, I wouldn't be too disappointed. I feel that young Robinson deserves something out of this fight. But I just feel he's been outworked the last third of the fight.
Yeah, that last furlong, as it were, Davison's really bustled away continually there. Robinson's definitely not doing enough work in this round. Minute to go. You won't get an instant decision. You have to wait for the judges' cars to be collected by the supervisor. Oh,
he's done it again, Reg.
Yeah, I said the gum shields come flying out as well.
Serious trouble, Reg. Davison in serious trouble, Reg.
Referee won't stop the action to put the gum shield in, not at this stage.
Robinson doesn't have the strength to push him off and go to work again. Look, a big deep breath, back in he goes again. What a finish this would be.
Yeah, I was just saying that Robinson wasn't doing any work, and as I said it, he switched it on again. He really can fool you, this fellow. He certainly fooled Davison at times, plenty of times.
That's taken a lot out of Davison in the last round here.
Yeah, he'll last out now, though, John. I mean, even if he went down, they couldn't count him out. The bell would interrupt the last round.
Well, a little knockdown there, Reg, would have just done something for Robinson's cause.
Well, Robinson thinks he's won it, of course, and so does Davison. That's very understandable too. And manager hoisting him around the ring there. He just might be that much disappointed. He started to jeer a bit at Robinson. So the long wait now while they just make sure those cards are all correctly added. Let's have a look now, that big finisher. This is where Robinson starts to come back, Jim, with those straight punches.
See, yet again, the quality punching coming from Robinson. That's been the case all the way through, and that's the one really shook him up. Then the gum shield was dislodged with the next one. See, serious trouble here again. There goes the gum shield. Now, 3 times it looked as though Davison in this fight was on the verge of being knocked out. Again, beautiful quality punching coming from Robinson. I wonder if he's going to go away with something from this fight.
I think the Danish judge has given it to him by 1 round, Jim, just peeking over his shoulder there. When I him, I mean Davison. Davison. So we've got 1 judge anyway on Davison's side. Now let's see the Puerto Rican and the American. There's promoter Tommy Gilmore there, co-promotion actually, just walking around. He's the one who said, I knew Steve Robinson would give him trouble. He said, in fact, probably too much trouble. We're all being a bit cynical about this when he came into the ring, weren't we, Jim? Whether the WBO should have sanctioned it or not.
Yeah, well, I feel that they should not have sanctioned the match for the title. It was a great match as soon as I heard about it. But you shouldn't bring people in from nowhere, but excellent.
And it's a split decision. Well, I'm not surprised.
Referee Al Walensky scores the contest 114 to 115 in favour of Robinson.
The American's gone for Robinson by 1 point.
Judge Hugh Jensen scores the contest 116 to 117 in favour of Davison.
And it goes the other way to Davison by, as I said, the Danish judge. So it's up to Sam Condé.
Judge Samuel Condé scores the contest 114 to 115. The winner and the new WBO featherweight champion of the world is Robinson, ladies and gentlemen.
Robinson gets the verdict, Jim.
Is the winner.
Well, Reg, we can't argue.
No, Jim and I have said all the way through there that it was very close. I thought maybe the local flavour would just influence the judges, but they've all scored it so closely there with 1 point that you can't really argue with that, can you? I feel sorry for this fellow. He's had so much troubles in his career, really, John Davison. It just might be his last fight. But this one's going to make big news, isn't it, one way or another, in the fight game itself. The man that we thought, well, he's not in the top 10. What's he doing? Challenging for the championship. What's happened to the other contenders? And he's come up and won it. The really new Cinderella man of British boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Robinson is the new champion of the world.
So we're just getting Robinson in position for a chat with Gary Newbon, I hope. Doctor having a quick look, making sure he's looking at him, the doctor's okay. Dr. Trotter, the man who examined Ruben Palacio and had to get the blood test done. So the doctor's okay now. There he is there. He's just waiting to be interviewed. There's always people hanging around here and trying to get a clearance. Over to Gary.
Steve, this is an amazing boxing story. You were preparing for an eliminator for the British title, and now you are world champion.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? It's my fitness that come through.
And you were on the dole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got it right, and you thought you had a chance. So, I mean, how did it get into your head to fight like that? Because you're not really of that standard as far as the form is concerned.
I think really it was right down to my fitness. I had row work and gym work. I'm a very fit boy, like.
Did it all happen so quickly it didn't faze you that you were in a world title fight?
Repeat that again, sorry. Repeat that again. Can you repeat that again?
Yes, certainly. I said, did it all happen so quickly this week that you didn't really realise you're in a world title fight?
Of course it did. There's only 2 days' notice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I had a phone call, and they say I want world title shot, like, so I thought I'd take it, like, you know.
I wonder how much it affected Davison this week with all the problems, because he wasn't very sharp at the beginning. You got straight into that fight.
Yeah, I was very sharp. I thought, you know, my fitness.
You don't really take all this in, are you?
No, not really. I'm just so chuffed, like, you know. I like to dedicate this fight to my son and to the ex-champion who had HIV positive.
Okay, yeah, that's very sad news, and that's thrown a shadow over the sport. But from your point of view, this has been a remarkable story. I'm going to let you enjoy it now. Well done. They said you...
Ronnie, say something, please.
Quickly, Ronnie, very quickly.
Well, I think, owing to the sad situation of the ex-champion, Steve and I have decided we are going to do something to raise money for him and his family.
Okay, that's very noble. Thank you very much indeed, Ronnie Rush, one of the trainers there. No, we're okay there now. Barry Hearn saying we got Davison. Davison's still being examined. So let me just tell you that another British boxer was involved in a WBO fight last night. One of Barry Hearn's, actually, the unbeaten lightweight from Tooting, Michael Ayers. He had a really hard job. He had to go to Rome and take on the world champion there, Giovanni Parisi. Always difficult to get a decision in Italy, but Ayers was always behind after being dropped in the 5th round. But he held on for the fight to go the distance, with Parisi winning on points in a unanimous decision. Ayers losing his unbeaten record and sadly taking a real hammering. Right, well, the next big fight is next week, and we'll be going to Memphis in the United States. The WBA Championship with Michael Nunn, who took the title of Victor Cordoba and then defended successfully against him. So the big fight next Saturday from Memphis, Tennessee, Michael Nunn of the USA against Crawford Ashley for the WBA super middleweight title. So quite a lot to come on ITV Sport before then. First of all, straight after this programme, we've got today's highlights of the Rugby World Sevens from Murrayfield, and then there's further coverage tomorrow afternoon, big afternoon for ITV Sport, when we'll be showing the climax of that competition. And then tomorrow afternoon, because sport's on all afternoon on ITV Sport, we've got exclusive and live coverage of the Coca-Cola Cup final. I'll tell you about that in just a moment, because John Davison's here. John, all a bit chaotic here, and for you, just utter disappointment. You didn't look sharp at all tonight in the early stages, and then you got into the fight, and it could have gone either way.
Yeah, but that's the way it goes. I'm not complaining. I thought I was throwing more quality shots. I mean, he was working, but he was catching most of the gloves. Staying out away from the Kerry grafted.
Okay, disappointing night for you.
Okay, no problem.
Bad luck about that, John. Right, well, that's it from the Northeast. Coca-Cola Cup final starting at 4:45. Just finished that a little bit. Arsenal against Sheffield Wednesday. We'll be back next Saturday, but it's been a real upset. One of the boxing stories of the year already, with a new world champion in Robinson of Wales. Sad night for the Northeast. Good night.